Hello everyone and welcome to Faithful to Big Brother, where we are discussing to Big Brother UK Day, I've just looked it up now, I can't remember it, 15.
16.
15 and 16 days.
No, just 16.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it is. I literally just looked that up and now I forgotten, but yes, day 16.
All you had to do was ask me.
Well, I had it in my head and then it left.
Did you? All this cloak and dagger. You could just turn to your right and said, hey.
I did a Will Best.
What day is it? Exactly, you did a Will Best. They kept it in the edit, so
Yeah.
they're trying to pretend that it was meant to happen, but even in the edit, it clearly wasn't meant to happen. There's two more to cut. This is Big Brother.
And then when he came back for third, and he was like, it's Triple Tuesday. And I was like, well, yeah.
Yeah.
We know Will.
We know Will. You've told us this now.
Bless him. His little cotton socks.
Bless Bestie.
Mm.
Yeah. Someone should have that as a poster when they go to the live evictions.
I am Ben, your co-host.
I'm Alex, your co-host.
Right, so...
I'm just getting your energy. You said that there's my vibes are down today, so I'm trying to get your energy.
It's very Patsy and Angelica in here today.
It is very Patsy and Angelica. We're going to have a fight later off camera.
It's a bit Angelica and Donna in here as well.
I mean, that was weird. I never saw that one coming at all on tonight's episode.
It was weird.
Instagram, TikTok, Threads, at Faithful2Podcast. That's how you can get in touch with us. DM us, follow us, do all the good stuff. Go to Blue Sky at faithful2podcast.bsky.social. YouTube at Faithful2Podcast or search Faithful2 Big Brother. Don't forget, like, subscribe, ring the bell so you never miss any future episodes or notifications, and comment underneath the video with any of your thoughts and theories. I saw, by the way, Talk of the Street did get in touch with us, ask for our call out.
After your request.
Yes. So we'll talk about that in a moment. You can watch or listen to us on Spotify, where you can also comment there. Also, you can listen to us on Apple, any of your favourite podcast apps. Don't forget to give us a 5-star review. If you like the podcast, share us with your friends, share us on social media. And if you want to help us monetarily, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/faithful, where you can donate £5 and attach a comment to it, which we will guarantee to read out, just like
Sarah has done.
Hi, Sarah.
They have said, I'm voting for Ben and Alex to stay. So she's not voting to evict. My podcast feed will be lonely without daily episodes. Excited to see what you are faithful to next. ...
Well, one thing I should point out, that
Curious.
if they're nominating us to save, then
They're voting
Charlie's out.
Yeah, well, you've just voted Charlie the cat out,
voted
nearly.
the cat
From
out of the
Amazing.
house. He's going to go through the cat flap, not even the front door. He's going to go through the cat flap. And they're gonna
Backdoor exit.
backdoor exit.
No audience.
Yeah. Get Charlie out. Get Charlie
No, you just
out.
voted a diabetic ill cat out, and he's going to get
How do
booed.
you feel? How do you feel that you've done that too? I mean,
It's not over yet.
the crowd have got history with booing people with terminal
Exactly.
illnesses, so you know, why not?
But it's not over yet. The final isn't here yet, so you can still nominate to save Charlie
Yes,
if you want to.
buymeacoffee.com/faithful. Nominate Charlie, and he might be saved. But so far, Charlie's being evicted. Only got 2 days left, guys. Quickly, buymeacoffee.com/faithful.
So we talked about when Jack said that the guy, I can't remember his name now, Ken, didn't know Jack.
William Roach.
Yeah, Bill Roach.
Sorry,
Bill Roach?
Bill Roach. Well, I'm doing what Bill does. I'm just pretending I don't care and just calling him what I want.
How he didn't know his name. He called Jack Dave, and they worked together 25 years. Talk of the Street, which is a Coronation Street podcast. Let's be real there. So Jack's told the story about Bill Roach calling him David before on the other podcast that he's on, Sofa Cinema on the Sofa podcast. I wasn't sure how much I believed it, but Bill would have been in his late 60s when Jack joined Corrie, and by that point probably didn't give a F about anyone's name, let alone a young whippersnapper with a middle initial. Their paths probably cross very infrequently these days, so there's no bother to correct them. So...
Well, fair enough.
Is that an excuse, though, just because you're a 60-year-old actor who's been on Corrie for 40 years instead of 60 years?
Well, like I said, he's comfortable in his setting, isn't he? He feels like he's the king of the pile. So Bill, William, Dick, whatever, Roach probably felt like he didn't... Well, like I said, he didn't need to bother.
Talking about Dick,
Oh, yes.
our favourite subject.
Yes.
There's a clip that was on... I think it was on a live feed where Jack has been walking around in his pants, by the way. And all the housemates are, well, left gobsmacked by what is going on. That's all I'm going to say.
I bet he smacked a few gobs with that dick.
I mean, when they were doing the gagging with the toothbrushes earlier, it's all I could think about.
Oh, you never said it. You never mentioned it. You kept that quiet. Because I looked up and I said, God, Chris has got a good gag reflex.
We'll need one with Jack.
Anyway,
The way Jack shoved that down his throat. Anyway, so that's been going on.
Let's be careful where we're heading with this one, because we don't want to accuse Jack of something here.
I've finished. I'm just saying that I've seen lots of clips of that on
I've not seen any
Talk.
clips. Thirst Talk. I've not seen any clips of
Jack
Jack's
P. Shepherd Thirst Talk.
appendage in his pants.
Yeah, well,
Do you reckon that's what the P stands for? Penis.
probably.
Jack Penis Shepherd.
Vote to save. Who's your winner? Is it Chris who gags on his toothbrush, or Jack who just doesn't?
Who might or might not have a large penis.
So that's where the live feed's going in the last days of Big Brother.
They're desperate now. They just need ratings. I must say, ITV, you're doing well with your live feed. Keep stretching them out. Add an extra hour. Every series they seem to add an extra bit.
Yeah, a little bit more.
What is it now? It's 10 till 3 p.m, isn't it?
Don't know.
Roundabout
I never
average.
watched it. It's too late. I like the daytime ones.
I must admit, I prefer the daytime ones, because
Yeah.
the daytime ones is when they're all kind of just sitting around and having conversations. But then I think, again, with the iteration of Big Brother it is now, in the day they tend to give them stuff to do, so they might want to keep that kind
That's
of
true.
in their pocket. So that's why the live feed is in the evening, I guess.
Bird noises.
Bird noises.
I mean, during the day on this episode, we had Patsy's retreat.
Patsy's rejuvenation retreat, where Patsy got to the group to meditate, drink cacao tea, which Jack Penis Shepherd enjoyed very much.
Guzzles that down.
He guzzled
Drinks
that
anything
down.
brown.
He really did. He's like, oh, and we found out why he has 2 tea bags as well. And we can we can confirm this as well, because we have lived in both the South and Scotland, not the north of England, but Scotland. So
Even more north than North England.
more north than the north of England. And southern water, once you're out of it, it's not good water.
No.
It's awful water.
It's bad for your hair when you're having a shower.
Yep.
Your hair goes all fluffy and weird.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't taste very good.
Doesn't.
Up here, it's much better. So I agree with Jack there.
Yeah, it's hard water up. It's where the hard stuff up in the north and Scotland, and it is far better water. Far better water. It's
Although I remember when I used to live down south, when I did hairdressing, people who moved from the north down towards us, they would always moan about the water. Say, it's making my hair go really weird. I don't understand. It's
In
crap
the south.
down here, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
And everyone used to get really offended. Like, no, it's not crap down here. What do you mean?
We're the south of England.
It's like, well, if you actually go up north and have that water, you'll realise how crap it
You'll
is.
see how crap it
Nice.
is. Is there something on the table?
It's like the LA-New York divide of the UK.
Well, the North and South divide is very well documented in the UK. East Coast, West Coast, America. North, South, the United Kingdom. Where are we going with this? Rejuvenation.
Oh yeah, the
retreat.
rejuvenation retreat. She nothing happened in the morning before this, did it? It's all very. They were just getting ready for the eviction.
It's funny, Joe. Well, yeah, they were kind of talking about an eviction, and there was a lot of chat before the rejuvenation retreat between Jojo and a few people, and Chris and a few people, and they both kind of almost made the conscious decision on day 16 to do things separately, almost preparing themselves for one of them to leave the house. So I've noticed that like Chris was spending a lot more time with Jack in today's episode. Jojo was spending a lot more time with Donna and Danny, and they were you could tell that was a conscious. It was not shown that they had a conversation about it, but you could tell that was a conscious decision between them, because they spent not a lot of time. The only time they really interacted was when Chris cut his foot and Chris asked Jojo to help him mend his foot with a plaster.
He's like, come with me.
Later.
And she was like, okay.
No, because this is where Jojo had the conversation, and
With Donna,
she said that like Chris is preparing her for when she adopts or has children with her girlfriend.
Yeah, the relationship is
Chris
less
is an overgrown
yeah,
child.
Yeah, it's less brother and sister, and it's moved on to mother and son now.
Yes.
So Jojo in 16 days has matured mentally. Chris still, as Trish would put it, generously, you're still 19. Generously. Quote Trisha Goddard, not me. So yeah, their relationship, their relationship is now mother and son, and I mean the honeymoon period's over. It's about 2 weeks, isn't it?
Yeah, but no, they had such a
tired.
close bond so quickly, and they probably realised that we're coming to an end now. And they were also talking to the relevant people that they know that on the outside world, this friendship can't be as tight as it is now.
They're
So they
replacing what they haven't
Yeah.
got in the house. And Danny made 2 comments this episode towards Jojo and Chris. He said, your girlfriend's going to punch him if you carry on like that, the first comment. And he made the similar comment again at the end, saying you're going to be in the front of the rags and your girlfriend's going to be really upset.
The Sun newspaper, yes. But then you have to kind of forgive Danny a little bit for the later in the episode, because he clearly was celebrating very hard with staying in the house.
Had half a glass of wine and he was gone.
Yeah, more than that. There was one shot of him taking the glass in one. Danny, I thought this showed a little bit of him, because there's a lot of rumblings within the group about gameplay, and people are coming in with an agenda and and it really showed to me that Danny actually has come in with a gameplay agenda too, because when after the triple threat eviction and Danny was still in, the first thing he did was go in the diary room and kind of talk about how pleased he was still to stay in the house, which is fine, don't get me wrong, this is a game, blah 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 blah, but also Danny this was going on about wanting the full experience. So obviously this meant a lot to Danny. So I feel like that when people were kind of grouping individuals as being game players, Danny does need to be enclosed inside that circle. It's unfair to not include
it was very much Ella saying Chris was a game player pretty much the whole series. But like you say, Danny openly says, well, I want to get to the end, I want to have the whole experience. It's
Which is fine. There's nothing against
but it's
that.
well, technically, is that not a gameplay then if you want to get to the end?
Exactly.
Also, like Jojo said, so what if it is gameplay? Like, even if she said it to Chris a few days ago, didn't she? She said, well, even if we are game players, well, so what? And it's like, well, yeah.
Exactly. It doesn't matter. This is why I
Or,
say it's like...
to quote, I'm doing loads of quotes, Donna...
Yes.
It's not that deep.
It's not that deep. Although Donna...
Unless you're Jack P. Shepherd.
Yeah, I was going to say, Donna did, complain a bit too much, I feel like. It was almost like she was upset, but was pretending not to be upset.
Oh, do you think? I don't know.
Oh, God, big time.
Well, we'll talk about that then, because that
Yeah.
was during the retreat, wasn't it? Where Patsy had to calm everyone down. They had to do laughing therapy together, where Patsy showed her true demonic turns.
Patsy, honestly, it was like, ha, 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 ha. Right, everyone, we're done.
Yes.
All right, Patsy.
That shows the true Patsy there. Can't trust
Do you
her.
think they got their and get ready for a reference
Right.
that you're I'm sure you're going to applaud me for? Do you think they got the
Is
idea?
it about Jack's Willy?
No, it's
Okay.
not. Do you think they got their idea for laughing therapy from Final Fantasy 12?
10.
10? I don't play Final Fantasy games.
Maybe
but Ben
Patsy
does.
Palmer was the voice
when I-
actress.
She could have been. Maybe she sang the song When You Walk. That's not Final Fantasy.
No, that's Kingdom Hearts. Leona Lewis did a song for Final Fantasy, though.
Didn't she do it for the movie?
No.
Oh,
Florence and the Machine did one too.
Which ones? Which
Can't remember
games?
now. 12 and 13. I can't remember.
12
Not
too?
the good ones.
I thought 12 was good. I thought you liked 12. I don't know. I don't play the Final Fantasy
Yes, that
games,
didn't have the song. It must have been 13 was Leona Lewis.
I tried to reference them just so that we have something to talk
14
about.
was Florence and the Machine, I feel. But anyway, it wasn't Patsy Palmer. And maybe that's where she got the inspiration from.
From Final Fantasy
Laughing
X.
Therapy. Ha 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 ha.
Look, as a ramp. You can use that as a ramp.
Well, that's not Final Fantasy.
No,
that's
I know.
something. Is this Faithful to Gaming again, is it?
Yes, it is. We're going back.
Episode
We're trying
2.
to promo ourselves. If you want to see another episode of that, let us know. Comment underneath or get in touch with us at Faithful2 Podcast. Do you want to see Faithful to Gaming? It was good. That was fun when we did that.
Yeah, I don't care what people want to see. I'm just going to make whatever I want. So there, everyone.
All right, strop it.
I'm Patsy.
I do what I want. All right,
so-
Cartman.
All of the people had to sort of get into groups of 2 and talk openly to
Yes.
each other with the talking stick.
The talking stick.
So we had Chris and Ella make up, and it seemed quite...
I thought that was a nice conversation.
Yeah, it
until-
felt genuine. And then I remembered her exit interview, and I was like, oh, actually, you've gone back on that straight away, Ella, and that happened literally that day to you.
Oh, it's because Ella said, I won't, before the eviction took place, and she was talking with a talking stick. She said, I won't listen. I'm going to stop listening to the outside noise. So clearly referencing what people had said to her about Chris before
She
she
heard
went in.
booze.
Because
Chris.
she heard booze and one
She thought, I will listen to
person-
the outside noise now and slag you off the whole
So
time.
Ella decided to then backtrack, which goes back to what I said in the last episode with I'm very disappointed with the audience of Late and Live for kind of fluffing
Letting her
Ella
off
and
early.
making her think that like she was right when she clearly wasn't. Because we all agreed on this. There was a consensus that Ella went in that house planning to get together with Chris, and to further
Her
strengthen the
manager
evidence.
basically said, "There's a Love Island one in there.
Yeah.
Just hook up with him, and you'll get
Go
to the
try
final."
it. Yeah, go try it. Go give it
Okay,
a
I'll break
go.
up with my boyfriend. Done,
Yeah. Ooh,
Done
very
and done.
upset. Boo boo hoo.
done, and done.
And I mean done. And Ella. What I was going to say, you completely interrupted me. Oh yeah, and clearly she had a lot of outside noise, because when she was before going into the house, clearly a lot of people said to her like, "Oh no, don't get together with Chris. You don't want to be doing that." And now I think she regrets that she didn't listen to that when her friends said that,
Maybe.
and she went in there with the gameplay in plan.
Biggest shock as well. Late in live, all three of them on the next episode as well. Patsy, Ella, and Angelica were all there.
What, the one do you were?
Yeah, I've only watched like 2 minutes of it, but
Can you quickly, when we go back to the stick of truth and whatever?
yes,
Stick of truth. That's a game, isn't it?
don't know.
Favorite gaming. Yeah, it's a South Park game. Tell me more, because you've kind of dropped the hint at me, and I'm presuming you wanted to talk about it on the show. Tell me more about this Angelica and Patsy.
Well, I don't know. That's
Supposed
what I mean.
argument
they
backstage.
Apparently, they're having an argument in the hotel right after filming, and there's like pictures where like
I've
two
not seen-
red circles around Patsy going, and Angelica going. There's like two red circles, and they were arguing. But I don't know, because that's what I say. Because on Late and Live, they're
Back on there
they're
again.
on there, and they're fine, I guess. I don't know.
I mean,
I've not seen it yet.
television. You have to be professional.
TV
on screen.
love.
TV love. They love
So,
like TV
but
love.
I mean, I imagine if they did have a fight or an argument, Patsy probably would just not. done the
Patsy would
episode.
destroy
No,
Angelica.
as in, Patsy wouldn't be on Late and Live. She would just be like, "I'm not doing it." 'Cause
unless
we
she's
know
contractually obliged.
that's not going to stop Patsy.
No, that's true.
Come on, Patsy does what she wants. So I'm guessing that is a made-up story by the newspapers.
Do you know Angelica kind of got attacked at the rejuvenation retreat?
Do you think? Because I'm still
well,
on Donna's side during the argument.
I'm not just talking about Donna. I'm also talking about what Patsy said. Because Patsy looked up and said, like, we can snap, and it's because we're very similar, and it's not intentional that we kind of, go at each other. Like
You're a
we do.
lovely mum,
But
lovely wife.
yeah.
You got a lovely husband,
Angelica
lovely
cried.
kids. Yeah. Well, the thing is, again, Patsy said you've had a brilliant TV career. Angelica burst into tears. What's happening?
25 years. Maybe
Well,
she decided
there's
to quit
something-
tennis. Maybe
I
she's
said-
going to teach.
No, those who can't.
Right,
teach.
Michael.
There's something where Angelica needs to do a documentary on where she's looking into something on herself on the BBC or something, because there's some untapped thing here.
Well, there's something happening
There's something
we don't know.
Yeah, there's something that she's not being honest about, because every time that 3 words are mentioned, she just bursts into tears randomly. Every single time.
Has she... No, this isn't meant disrespectfully, I swear, but has Angelica worked recently? Like, has she had work? Has it kind of dried up a little bit? And so she's kind of almost drawing up, it's like saying 25 years down the line.
There's something there
As a one-night stand.
where she's praised, it makes her cry, and I think it's because she doesn't think she deserves the praise that she's been giving to her. And that's whether she has low self-esteem or something's happened, or this is all one big act and she knows that she doesn't deserve the praise, which is why she makes herself cry like that.
Oh, I don't think it's that.
There's something going on. No, there's
to
something
say
going
that someone
on.
doesn't deserve
No,
the
that's what-
career that they built.
No, but that's what I'm saying. There's something going on there which is making her
Well, internally
burst
she
into-
feels that way.
Yes.
She feels like she's lucked out to get where she's got, and now
so that's
she's,
why
she's
every
not
time
gonna
she
get a
gets
job.
praised for something,
Yeah.
she bursts into tears because she doesn't think she deserves the praise.
And so she won't work after this. So this
don't
was her
know.
last shot at
Well, she will be working because she needs to make this documentary where she needs to go to therapy. Therapy with Angelica. It's a podcast series, 10 parts.
10
Yep, 10 episodes.
podcast.
Yep. BBC Sounds.
Oof,
I can see it now.
that's a downgrade.
There's something odd going on. But anyway,
Sponsored by Global.
that's the only time I'm going to be nice about Angelica, because during
wow.
the bit...
Okay,
That was me being nice.
that was. Christ, I hate to be your flipping enemy if that's how you talk to your friends.
But like during the bit with Donna, where they have to, because Danny and Jojo also made up, didn't they? And they did a little
yeah, they
thing.
did, and they kind of furthered that conversation later on when Danny had a few drinks, and they had that conversation around the kitchen when they were eating pizza. Although Danny, goodness sake, how much mayonnaise do you need on that slice of pizza?
I thought that was a bit of cheese.
Well,
Like
if
a
it
bit
was
of feta or something, wasn't it?
Oh, what, like mozzarella, like a big piece,
Yeah.
not mozzarella. Oh, I thought
Mozzarella
it was a big
ball.
dollop of like
Maybe.
mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise and pizza's good.
It's freaking me out. Didn't like it.
So they did their thing. Did Jack and Chesney do anything?
No, they just sat
They
and
just sat
watched.
there. But I feel like Donna, it was kind of forced to do the
Donna didn't want to do
let's do a big emotional chat. And I do agree with Donna, it's not that deep. And I do think she does actually think it's not that deep. But because she had to sit with a talking stick in this thing, she had to try and pretend like we have an issue that we need to sort out, where really there isn't. So she wasn't really taking it too seriously.
Donna was still a bit pissy about the noise that Angelica was making, and she rightfully felt a bit angry that Angelica did. And I don't care what Angelica says about it being either a joke or there was no meaning behind it. Clearly,
there was. After
the nominations, when Donna said you made a lot of noise in the bedroom in the morning, the next morning you're then running up and down the bedroom smacking a pan. Of course there is intent behind that.
That's what I mean. And Angelica was being really pedantic because Donna was like,
Own it, Angelica, come on.
And she was like, Donna said, oh, well, you were running around with the pan in my face. That's a turn of phrase. Angelica was like, well, it wasn't in your face. And it's like, well, no, but you were running. Do you know what I mean? It's like, that's so pedantic.
I agree.
And then Angelica was like, oh, well, I'm sorry if you feel that way.
You feel that way, yeah.
And I was like,
But we have seen that in the past. Chesney did the same thing.
That's the type of stuff that's why I don't trust Angelica. She's very sort of passive-aggressive-y. I don't know. There's something that I don't trust.
Well, in her mind, she's done nothing wrong. That's the weird thing. And Angelica won't confess that she's done anything wrong because
she seems proud that she did that as a joke.
That's what I'm saying.
But she's proud that it's a joke, wink, wink. But then she doesn't then admit that actually she did it to do it.
But then Donna said, like, if it's a joke, why did you not kind of let me in on it? Because it wasn't. If it was a joke, then it was you laughing at me. And how's that a nice thing to do? And again, I think Angelica kind of took a step back and thought, oh, okay, that doesn't look very good for me, something like that to be shown on screen. But then Donna, I have to say, I do think that Donna was more angry about it than she was letting on, because then she went into the diary room, ranted about it further, and then the voice of Big Brother quite rightfully said, well, why don't you air these grievances with Angelica outside? And she was like, well, it's not that deep. And it's like, well, that's no, really, her saying that's not that deep is no different to Ella saying, well, I'm not bothered. You are bothered. It is that deep, but you don't want to.
Do you think
you don't want to get too deep in the roots of it? Yes, I was seeing. I think it is to Donna. It is more deep than she's letting.
Because I was seeing it as because they were told to do this thing, pick someone, air your grievances. Donna had to, the same as how all of her nominations, she kind of has to, because I think she is just not really too bothered. So she's like, oh, I have to think of a reason. Here's a reason. And like, oh, I have to think of a thing to talk to Angelica about. I'll say this. And like, it made it appear like it was a big of a deal than actually, like if they didn't do that task, she probably would have never mentioned it again and didn't actually care.
On the strength of what you're saying, actually, I get where you're coming from.
Similar to what...
No. I was just going to say, Donna had to make a reason up. She kind of thought it was a bit of a flimsy reason to say, oh, Angelica, you're a bit noisy in the morning. But instead of it being just a flimsy reason, Angelica actually took it as a more serious of a threat than it actually was. And so the reason Donna's saying it's not that deep is that she's going right back to the nominations when she meant it then it wasn't that deep. But since then, it's got that deep. And I think that despite what Donna is thinking and despite what Donna and Angelica are saying, I think inside there's that worm that keeps burying in their head that this small thing has snowballed into this ridiculous argument between them. And I don't think Donna and Angelica are ever going to make up for it, especially if Angelica can't, not that she has to apologize, but she could at least say, you know what, I appreciate your feelings on this.
Or just be like, well, I was just retaliating because of what you said about my nomination. So I did
be honest. Be honest that you were doing it as a retaliation, which you were, Angelica. Oh, Christ, sorry. Sorry, anyone's ears are bleeding after that, but you were, Angelica. That was...
Because Jack said, was it to Chesney? He was like, well, just make up. It's for TV. Just pretend and make up. That's what he said about Donna not doing it seriously. And it's like, well, I think that's actually what she was doing. Like, she was forced to, what is your reason that you need to sit down and have a one-to-one with Angelica? Oh, this is my reason. So, yeah. It was the way that Jack and Chesney were like, oh, you should just sit and make up. It's for TV. Just act serious. I think she actually was doing that, and it actually wasn't that deep.
I think Donna also feels though this whole thing is unraveling, and she doesn't really, and she doesn't really have control or understand why. And that's probably another thing that's confusing Donna. She's probably looking, again, if this was any other environment other than you're enclosed in this tiny little, like, rat lab, the way you're just being watched all the time in a small enclosed space, it would be nothing would even be mentioned about it. It's the smallest things just make up the big things in that house. And Donna, I don't think can kind of get her head around how such a mundane thing has just become what it is, because Jack also kind of accused Donna of not joining in with the retreat and not taking it as so the funny thing is
that's what I just said. That's what I was referencing.
So the funny thing is that the thing that Donna thought was kind of a joke, her saying, "Oh, Angela keeps me up all night because of the noise she's in the morning because of the noise she makes," is now being flipped, and everyone actually now thinks she's serious with it, and Donna can't understand why people can't see the joke. And like you say, in Jack's tonight's episode, when Jack was like saying, why can't Donna just laugh and like laugh it off? And it's like, well, Donna was trying to. No one seems to be seeing that though. It's funny. It's really weird that this is kind of thing. This is like the biggest deal in the house, and it's just over a bit of noise in the morning.
But the atmosphere in the house seems to have like chilled out with Patsy, Angelica, and Ella going. I think there was like a lot of simmering tension between the three of them in all different directions.
Yes,
in lots of different ways. And like the second like they were gone, like Danny got drunk. Like, has anyone got drunk this whole series?
No,
you know what I mean?
No.
Like, they're like straight away they were having pizza and being a bit silly, and maybe the house feels a bit more relaxed, like you're not on eggshells around Angelica and Patsy. Mainly.
It's definitely more relaxed now that them three have gone. And I have to say, it's each and every one of them, because each and every one of them kind of brought some kind of into the house.
Because I think maybe Ella was maybe trapping Danny's personality down a little bit in some ways. But I think that's why he's suddenly drinking and having a bit more fun, because Ella's not there, and
he doesn't have to look after her, so he can relax.
Yeah, maybe Donna is a bit more relaxed now. Angelica's frostiness isn't there, and then Patsy with the kitchen and the control of that has settled Jack and Chesney and that. So
but you say that, but like again, this is something maybe we're not being shown. But the whole house had a lot of good things to say about Patsy. They were all saying that she's quite funny, and she's got a really good sense of humour. And maybe we're
funny, yes. Sense of humour, not sure.
But maybe we're looking at like the funny bits because we are enjoying the bits when she kind of has the cold hard stare, and they're the bits we're enjoying the most, and so that's why we kind of focus on it more. But there's clearly something that Patsy was doing in that house that we weren't seeing, and she was more liked than perhaps
why didn't they
thought.
show it then? Eh?
Well, because maybe there was other things to show. There's only a small space of time to show things.
I mean, every time I see Patsy when she's on something live and it's not edited, I always have the same opinion of her at the end of it. So
Patsy.
No. I like. Well, I don't know if I do like Patsy actually, but I like Bianca Jackson, her character. I don't know. But the same with Angelica. When she's on like late and live or being interviewed, she's quite good to watch, and she says interesting things, good sound bites. She says what she needs, stops, the cameras go back to her, she performs, done. I liked her. Like, she's good as a guest on late and live. I didn't like her in the house. So TV love, I think, is my takeaway from this.
I don't have an answer to that, I'm afraid. All I can think,
I don't think there is an
answer.
It's too deep.
Well, Ella annoys me inside the house and outside the house, so that's quite a revealing thing for us all to say. But also to hear.
At least we know that Ella was being herself, because she wasn't different on her interview or on Late in Life than she was in the house. Yeah,
but like again, like I don't want to keep saying this. I hate sounding like a broken record, to quote Donna. But like Ella keeps going on and on and on about how she sees the game players and how she dislikes the game that's being played in the house and dum. But like, you know, in the house she's all sweetness and light with Chris and Jojo. And outside the house, she's bitching and crying about them. And it's like, if you felt that way, if you really felt that way, like every time Ella had any objections toward Chris and Jojo, it was never to their face. Never to their face. And I genuinely think that she probably would have lifted so much weight off her own shoulders as well if she'd just taken Chris to one side and said, look, you know, like when they did the retreat between Ella and Chris, that was a good moment actually between them, to be honest with you. And that was like the one moment where, that Ella kind of, I thought, you know, actually there's a bridge being built here, Ella, and you know, you're doing it face to face to Chris. You know, why didn't she do that more? I'm disappointed.
Yeah,
I'm
then
not
the
angry,
second she could, she then went back on all what she'd done during the interview and since on Late in Life. So
and it's like, well, why did you do that? Silly.
Not that deep. At least Jojo has found her queerness to lighten the mood for everyone.
Yes.
So she enjoys being gay with Danny. So that's a good thing.
Well, her and Danny, again, I thought they were building up to something because Jojo kept saying that Danny was deliberately trying to get a rise out of her. And I thought they were building to something. So I can't help but think that this truce between Danny and Jojo is going to be short-lived when Danny's hangover kicks in tomorrow.
Also, it's interesting that Jack said Danny's annoying, he's too loud for him. And Chris was like, yeah, he is. And it's like, well, you're best friends with Jojo, who's like the loudest in the house.
Jojo hasn't been that loud in the house, actually. She's loud in the real world.
Patsy and everyone else said that she was loud. Ball of energy, never stopped. It's like, well, why is Danny too loud but Jojo's not?
Well, Angelica got accused of making too much noise in the morning. What Jojo should do is start walking around with a pot and pan and smacking it, shouldn't she?
Jack.
See how deep that will get for you, eh, Donna?
Don't talk shite.
All right,
Right,
so
we've come to the end.
you want to finish, do you?
It's come to the end.
Yeah.
Naturally, I feel.
What were you doing then? So yeah, do get in touch with us. Let us know your thoughts and feelings. I did suggest someone get in touch with us about something. I can't remember what I said now, but what I said earlier in the show, do that by getting in touch with us at Instagram, TikTok and Threads at Faithful2 Podcast. You can follow us and DM us or just comment on our videos. You can go to Blue Sky at Faithful2Podcast.bsky.social. Find us on YouTube at Social2 Podcast or search Faithful2 Big Brother. Don't forget to like, subscribe, ring the bell so you don't miss any further shows, including any different Faithful2 shows. Ooh,
Yeah, make sure you're subscribed.
Don't
Because we had an email from someone saying they used to watch our Traitors podcast, didn't know we were doing Big Brother this whole time.
What were you doing?
They commented on our TikTok. I think they saw our TikToks. And I was like, yep. Make sure you subscribe because any of the show that you watch may pop up.
If you don't subscribe, it's the equivalent of going into the diary
Talking about
room
broccoli.
and not basically being asked about broccoli and then just sitting there sternly staring at the presenters until they tell you moving on. So yeah, like, subscribe, ring the bell, comment underneath the video. You can watch and comment on Spotify. You can also listen on Apple and your favorite podcast apps. Don't forget to give us 5 stars if you enjoy the podcast and share us with your friends. And if you, like I say, you got to nominate. Not long now on buymeacoffee.com/faithful. You can nominate in this house, Ben, me, Charlie, the producer, who's going to win Faithful to Big Brother Series 1. And if you do comment on your donation on buymeacoffee.com/faithful, then we will guarantee to read it out as well on buymeacoffee.com/faithful.
Right. So second to last episode tomorrow.
Oh no, and at the moment, Charlie's getting eliminated.
Evicted.
Yes. I did on purpose.
Right, we will see you tomorrow for not just Jack P. Shepherd's semi, but our semi-final too.
Still.